GMO foods don't have seeds. You have to buy the seeds from the authority. They import the seeds. So there is no risk. If you buy any tomato that has no seeds, so you have nothing to plant. But that should tell you that the tomato you bought is poisonous. I thank God that Halima is here. So in her association, they have to do more work, because right now, do you know that people are eating plastic rice? Nobody is talking about plastic rice anymore. And then we have Gari, Jebu Gari from China, that people are making money from. So the original Jebu Gari will be selling for 3,000 for paint bucket, and you buy their own for 2,000 or 1,500. And we are very poor people. We have poor people here. Let me paint a negative scenario for you. Now, would you imagine half of your population dying in the next 15 years because the food are poisonous, and no hospital will detect it, and they will not write any report? If somebody dies today and the autopsy is done, do you know that nobody uses the autopsy to warn other people? So the situation is really bad. It's really bad. So let us educate as many people as we can. We are all at risk of dying of food poisoning that will not kill anybody at once, but just diseases are coming out now that you see somebody deformed in the eye, deformed in the throat, and so on and so forth. Why? Because poisonous food is what the person has been eating. People are eating plastic rice right now, and they have no idea, because I don't want to.
It's saddening. That's the truth. It's saddening. Thank you so much. I like now. Right now, I can be rest assured that once I buy something that has seed, then the probability of it being a GMO product is very low. My mind is at rest. Okay.
All right, Grandpa. My last question for you before I will move to our next speaker is that we know that how to identify some of them, and then what we need to do in order to be safe while we are choosing them. Then the last question I will ask is, okay, for the layman, for the people on budgets, is it possible for us to afford this non-GMO food? Because when you look at it, the GMO food are way cheaper than the non-GMO food. And you know, the Nigerian economy, I'm talking about Nigeria now. Okay, let me say the African economy is not as buoyant as the whites, where they can regulate everything. They have been given the choice to actually choose because it will be labeled. They have that, they are so fortunate that they have that right, they have that opportunity to choose if they want to buy it or not. But we don't have that right here. They are taking that right away from us because we don't actually have the authority to regulate it. We don't have the people to do the right thing by doing their own due diligence. Like NAFDAC I'm talking about. Maybe in case they have not able to sell, be able to differentiate these foods for us to know that if you want to take it, it is your choice. If you don't want to take it, it is your choice. But now we've not been given that choice like they have been given to the country they are bringing it from. Have you seen the difference? But they want us to embrace it because they have more to benefit from it than to lose. They have zero things to lose because they can decide to even be importing their own food supply in order to be safe. That's the situation we have here. Now, for us, that we are still on budget, when we want to buy our groceries, we are on budget. Is it going to be affordable for us to eat this non-GMO food if we want to, or it is going to be difficult because of the price difference? Because right now, at the beginning of it all, there is difference in price when we talk about these GMOs. Despite that, we cannot identify them properly, but we can still use their cost to identify. Like when you are buying the normal thing for 100 naira and they are telling you this one is cheaper, it is 50 naira, then you should be concerned. Why is it cheaper and all that? So is it going to be affordable for us to still eat non-GMO foods? That's my question. So what are the best way for us to achieve eating this non-GMO food if we choose not to eat the GMO foods? That's my question, sir. I hope my question is clear, sir.
Yes, the question is very clear. And my answer would be plant your own food. Plant vegetables in bags. Anything you can do to help yourself, do it. But it also depends on what people prioritize in their lives. For me, food is a major issue, and you should spend more money on food than medicine. It is stupidity, it is foolish for a man to be hoping that, oh, if I have stomach problem, I will rush to the hospital and get pills. It is cheaper to use that money to buy good food, to buy organic food, spend all your money on what you consume, than waiting for sickness and you go to the hospital. Hospital is not established to take care of you. I'm sure people will hate me for saying that. Hospital is established to make money for the owners, to pay nurses and doctors. Hospital does not want to see you well. Please tell your husband and your children and your and there's no other man here to tell his wife. But please, just know that nobody is for you. Everybody is against you. Shine your eye. If you think food is expensive and you go and be eating GMO food, when sickness comes, there is no hospital that has the capacity or the equipment to cure you. Now, let me tell you something about those in authority. Do you know why people are amassing wealth? Do you know why they are selling us to have money? They will bring in food from the Middle East, organic food, because those people they regulate. You know, halal had to come because people were trying to take nonsense to such countries, and they're educated. I'm telling you. You think that my Muslim brothers and sisters that studied Arabic, that they didn't follow Western education. They are highly educated and intelligent. So look, we have to get our own regulatory body like FDA. Before we eat anything, it has to pass through halal regulation. And they are protecting their people. So you can't go there and mess up with GMO food. They will kill you. And here we are. Our people are selling us and bringing in GMO foods. They are not consuming them. You see their organic food in UK. Their organic food in the Caribbean. People go there to buy them. A friend of mine came from America. He said, look, people in America go to the Caribbean to buy organic food and store. But the victims that are in America that are laboring and eating those food and getting bloated, have you noticed? Let an average leper person go to US today. In the next 1 month, he's so fat because he's eating poison, he's eating chemical, he's eating things that are put in those animals they call their chicken is so fat, I'm told. But That's why I don't want to go there. If I go there, I probably carry Jebu Gari and drink only the Gari before I come back. Because I will go on holiday. I know what I'm talking about. You see, so for people that are poor, I'm sorry to say this, we are all victims. And nothing will save us except we plant our own vegetables, plant our own things in bags and in pots around our compound. Right now, you can get crops you can plant around your fence, around your staircase, around just anywhere. You can put those bags and you plant. But that you have low budget and you say you want to live on budget, don't budget for anything. Food is the main thing. Shelter is next. Clothing is another. Any other thing you call money in the bank, rubbish it. Make good relationship with people so that we help ourselves.
Save money.
Okay, so I stop there.
Thank you so much, sir. You have to do things yourself.
Yeah.
Grow your food. Know what you are eating. As in, you can grow those things in bags, like Grandpa said. I actually have started doing that for a while now, and then I'm still doing it because I have seen a lot of things, like even when you are eating those fresh things that you grow yourself, you see the joy that comes with it, as in the peace of mind that comes with it alone, no matter how small it is that you're investing, it's a lot. And another thing that we quickly had to is eat food in season. If you are on budget, don't say there is nothing like Grandpa said, don't be on budget when it comes to food. Make sure you are using your money to buy the right food. So buying food in season is cheaper because when the food is in season, you will see a lot of them. So buy. If you have a way of preserving some, please do, because it's going to help you and your family a lot. Then another thing is cook your food. You don't know what they are actually using to cook those foods you are buying outside. So when you cook it, you have been able to look at what you buy. You are satisfied that this is what I want to consume, and then you can eat it with rest of mind. Another thing is limit processed food. We've been saying that countless times, but let me quickly chip it in. Limit processed food. Processed food has gone through a lot of process in which you are not even sure if the ingredients they write on it is actually what is there. The only way you can be sure of what you are eating right now is to cook your food. When you cook your food, you'll be able to boldly say, this is what I am eating. I will quickly round it up with a very short a testimonial before I will go. I have a friend that always buys seeds and then spices from me. And then we had a conversation recently and she was very happy. She told me that these people that used to come and do health tests, general body health tests, came to our husband's office. And while they were doing the test, they tested so many people. And when it was the husband's son, and they were like, wow, like, what are you feeding on? The man was like, absolutely okay. Like, they've not seen that kind of result since they've been doing it. Like, they now ask him, what are you eating? What are you doing differently? So he now said that he always eats the white food, and then the wife now nutritionist. So not nutritionist by profession, but she's very, very conscious of how she cooks and what she cooks for the family. And that is what he has been able to be eating since for a very long time and has been helping him. That day, the husband came back home with a very nice gift for her, thanking her for that kind of intentionality in the kitchen. So we all can do better. I was very, very happy. I said, you have to give me my own gift. So, though you are paying for those spices and all that, but you see, I still make it happen. As in, either directly or indirectly. So we joke about it. And it is about being intentional with what we eat. Thank you so much. And I will give the mic back to my co-host because our next speaker needs to
We have been
give us
very, we have been very blessed. Honestly, we have been very, very blessed. You know, from everything Grandpa said, from everything that has been said so far, one thing kept ringing in my head, and it is the fact that God blessed us, but we just chose to neglect what God has blessed us with. We were busy looking for what is not lost. And by virtue of that, the corrupt ones, the greedy amongst us, they are feeding on that to make money. They are controlling everything. Everything. God. Well, it's only God that can help us. That's the truth. You know, I know of a country. I know of a country that does not import anything. Anything at all. Whatever they feed on is what they produce in their country. You can go and find out about them. Vietnamese, they do not import. Everything they eat is organic.
That's true. Yes, I know about them.
Because one thing is this, aside the fact that they are controlling our health, our everything, they want to eventually, they have a future projection, just like Grandpa said, that imagine that in the next 15 years, people start dying. Half of the population start dying with no trace to the causative factors. So this is it. We can do better. We can all do better. We can all contribute our quota by making sure that we make use of the opportunity of planting things in our garden. Okay, Mrs. Alima Adeboye, thank you so much for your patience. I'm going to wrap my question together so that you just tackle it at once, right? I know you're loaded, and some of those questions have been touched one way or the other. But coming from a safety perspective, someone in the field of safety, regulation, and everything, I know you will be able to give us so much more. So I'm going to wrap it together. And the first one is, we have heard of the differences between GMO foods and the organic foods. But from a safety perspective, how would you differentiate this product? That's number one. My second question is that so far, so good. Has there been any long-term studies on the health effects of these GMOs, and what is the outcome? From this outcome, has any solution been preferred, or is it being preferred? That's number two. The third question and the final question is, beyond direct consumption of this GMO food, what are the other potential impacts that GMO farming can have on our food chain, on the environment, on everything around us from a safety perspective? So those are my questions for you. I hope you get them and you're able to do justice to them. Thank you so much. The mic is yours.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure. And I want to say a very big thank you to Grandpa. Grandpa has said virtually almost everything that I would need to say. My own is just to add and buttress some of the things he has said. So thank you so much. So you asked the difference between organic foods and GMO food as regards to food safety. So one thing that I want to say, whether GMO or organic food, the food safety perspective is it just have to be safe, no matter whether it's organic or GMO. The process of the production, the storage, the transportation down to our table matters a lot when we are talking about food safety of food. So whether it's organic or GMO, we have to be sure that the safety aspect, the food safety aspect, is taken care of. Because even if they are telling us that GMO food, they contain nutrients or what, if they are not really safe, if they are not being handled well, if they are not being processed well, it can still lead us to another problem. So the handling, the processing, the packaging and everything has to be taken care of too. I don't know if I have answered your question. And the safety aspect again that I want to buttress on is on the antibiotic resistance. Just to buttress what Grandpa has said, this GMO food is just like a cut and join. I want to use the analogy of our tailors, where they get fabric, different fabric, and they join them together to make a cloth or a beautiful cloth. The fabric might not be of the same material or something, but they just cut and join them together to make a new cloth. So in this case, our cut and join is in the gene and the new plant or the organism that we want to put there. This gene is not originally of that plant or of that crop. So when you try to insert it into that food tends to like inherit that characteristic that you inject into them. And when human beings eat them, we have what we call horizontal gene transfer. It is the transfer of gene from organisms. Sorry, I'm going deep into sciences now. It is the transfer of gene between organisms of different species. Now, the food is a different species, and the organism, the gene, where they get the gene from, is from another species. So now it's kind of a horizontal gene transfer being put into that food, and the food will now inherit it. And in turn, human beings too will eat it. And the chain continues like that. When human beings too eat it, we have what we call our gut microbiome. These are microorganisms that are in our gut too. They are normal flora of our gut, like that's their natural place too. They tend to inherit this gene too. And what do you think will happen? They will also inherit this resistance gene that we're trying to put in the plant so that it will be resistant to pests. We can have high yield, you can have this. So human beings too will inherit this gene, and they become resistant to drugs too. People come down with illnesses, they are being diagnosed and they are being given drugs and they are resistant. I want to I hope I'm not digressing too much, bring a short story about myself. Some few years ago when I was trying to enter the food industry, and one of the requirements is our medical tests that we have to carry out, because you're a food handler and you have to carry out some safety medical tests. I went to the hospital to carry out my test, and the test result came out and they are telling me that I have, I don't know. And when they tried some antibiotic resistance, and I was told that resistance to most of the antibiotics. I was shocked. How did I get here? This is me. I hardly even fall sick, talk less of even taking drugs and is it this thing. So when I heard about this GMO food or this thing, I was like, could it be the reason, or could it be the reason how or why people get resistance to drugs? It could be one of the reasons too. And that is why we must be very, very, we must be very, very vigilant to what we eat. Even down to our poultry, that's our birds. Some of these ingredients that are used in making their poultry feed too can come from this genetically modified food. And you'll be eating chicken, you don't know. What about the weed from the plants, from the farm that they use to feed these cows too? You are eating meat, but you don't know that these cows have been fed with genetically modified plants that they inherited from eating grass from those crops. So when we are talking about safety, it goes beyond just a food is nutritious, a high yield or something. So regulations have to be put in place to check this thing. Unfortunately, just like Grandpa said, we are in Nigeria. We don't even care about anything. They can just sell anything to us and we'll just take it. And people, especially for the economic situation, everything is cheap. So my major concern here is about the antibiotic resistance. And it's a very serious situation. Just imagine you fall sick and they tell you there's no drug that can work for you. Thanks to some of these our natural herbs now and the spices too that can help you. So that's one of the problem there. So from all the journals and from my experience and things that I've heard and seen, most of them will tell us that it is safe, but what about the long-term effects? Just like Grandpa has said, in the next 30, 40 years, people begin to die. Unfortunately, we are in Nigeria. Nobody will question anything. They will do autopsy and nobody will say something. They might not even know that that's the cause of it, especially for us in Nigeria. So it is very important if we can just grow our own foods and know that we know what we are eating. Thank you. And to the next question about the environmental impact of it, just like I mentioned earlier, you're trying to solve a problem and you're also creating another. Now you're trying to inject this resistance gene into these crops, forgetting that these weeds too will also inherit it from the environment, and this leads to what we call super weeds. Those weeds will just be stubborn and they'll just be there. So we are trying to pollute the environment. And like Grandpa has said again, once you have these plants here, you cannot plant your own new crops again, and it will pollute it and it can destroy your own, like our local plants too. So it has its own environmental effects too, because it has to, it's like a chain from one issue to the other. It's gene that we're talking about, and it can be transferred. So that is my point here. Thank you so much.
So, thank you very, very much for doing justice to those questions. In summary, the intent behind GMO that is told to us is that they're trying to reduce food scarcity, poverty. They're telling us the lie, apparently. But we can choose to buy the lie or embrace our truth by going organic. Get your soil intact, plant what you can, feed on it, be intentional, be intentional. Go organic, buy the local chickens. Some people they will say local chicken, it doesn't have flesh.
They don't know what they are missing out. My God of blessed memory will never eat all this agri chicken or all this. And then when we were small, we used to like say, why would this man prefer to eat the local chicken and he doesn't eat the big one? You say you are eating poison. It is now that I've now grown that I realize what this man was telling us then.
I'm telling you.
And our land is so blessed. We should not adopt everything Oyinbo gives us. We have fertile soil, we have everything. It's just that we don't value what we have. That's just the issue.
We all have a role to play. Either we embrace the truth or buy the lie. May we not use our own money to buy our own death. So everyone in the audience, we want to appreciate you. Abimbola Olani, thank you so much for joining. Ola Olayinka, you're very much appreciated. I can't see any other question, but I thought there was a time I saw Mommy. Mommy was on the call. Maybe network to your house. Thank you so much. Just type it in the comment section. The thing that you're going to be doing different about what you eat from today and forth. Remember, you can't identify all of these GMO foods. You can identify some, but despite that, you can be intentional about what you eat by going organic, planting your own things. Tell us, what are you going to be doing different? Okay, Olayinka said, is new here. Thank you so much. We want to welcome you to the community. It's so good to have you. This community is all about your health. We are concerned about you eating your food as drugs rather than eating drugs as food. That is the main purpose why we are here. And I want to bet that from this today, you have gotten something. So do well, contribute your own quota, inform your friends, inform your relatives to go organic, plant your own food, rear your own chicken, feed them with the I'm even scared to say feed them with corn now again. What if the corn is
it? You can never tell. It's more serious than you think.
Oh my God, it's serious. It's really serious. It's a cause for concern, honestly.
Yes.
It really is. God help us. God will help us. But the truth is, we can actually test run those things. If you're able to buy the seeds and plant, you can't get GMO seeds. You can't get them unless you buy from them. So if we get our local seeds and plant them, ah, it's a loss, but intentionality and consistency, they say, beats perfection. That's with one household per time. And before we know it, if we are truly intentional, it becomes general, it becomes a common thing. And we can actually do this. Let's try. Let's try. Let's spread the information and contribute our own quota. Once again, I'd like to say thank you so much, Alima. Thank you very, very kindly for honoring and for coming with your A game. My sister Ramoka, I don't know if you have anything to add to the current contribution, I mean, the current discussion.
Thank you so much, my beautiful co-host, and the speakers. They have done justice to today's topic. I can only say thank you, and thank you so much for all the valuable information shared. I am certain that people that are here, they have been able to note a lot of things down, and then they are very, very useful for them to make their decision. And whoever that is going to watch this later too will be able to gain a lot of valuable information. So to just summarize the whole thing, because I know some people are just joining us, and then like Grandpa has said and Alima has buttressed here, she has also shared a lot about this GMO. Our safety is actually in our hands now. We can make that decision about these foods if we actually want it or not. So when you look at the human health, we know that the in Africa they have already failed us because they don't have that rigorous way of actually giving us full information about this food. Another thing is that they have not been able to actually label it for us to know which is which out of this food. Then when we are now looking at this toxicity, we are looking at the nutritional assessment, we are looking at the allergenicity of these foods, then the decision is actually yours to know if these foods are healthy for your family or not. Then when we look at the nutritional content of these GMOs as well, we will now find out that they are telling us that these foods are safe, but they've not been able to tell us that the nutritional profile of these foods has been hurt out. And as a result of that, so many people can have allergic reactions to this food. The people that knows that this particular food, let's say beans, is safe for me, and when you have been able to add another gene of another food that they know they have allergy to, without them knowing, and they consume the food that they think is actually safe for them, they start having other allergic reactions. So is this food actually safe in that context to say, okay, it is generally safe for consumption? Another concern that we should look at with this GMO food is the way they actually use pesticides to make sure that they grow well. This looks like a misplaced priority. When you are trying to grow your crops and free from pests, and then you are telling people to consume pesticide with their food, it's like you are poisoning food. Indirectly, you are actually poisoning those people. Another concern is the increase in cancer. Either we like it or not, the increase in cancer in Africa, it is now higher than the European countries. Go and do your research, because over there they have the choice to choose what they want to eat. And we have been deprived of that same choice to choose what we actually want to eat, because they've not been able to actually identify it to us that these are GMO foods and these are non-GMO foods. I don't know if you are looking at it from my own perspective or not, but these are some of the things that raise a lot of concerns while you are choosing the food of your choice, GMO or non-GMO. Another one is economic control. If we get to a stage that without their involvement, we will not be having food supplies. Because when they are able to contaminate our land enough, even you and I that want to grow our crops, they will make it difficult for us to do so. Once our land is poisoned, there is no going back. We don't have the right to just travel to wherever we like in order to live there. This is where we have. And once that land is contaminated, we are on our own. So and another one is the one that Alima actually mentioned, antibiotic resistance. It is going to cause a lot of chaos when people are resisting the treatment for antibiotics in the nearest future, because a lot of people have started detecting it. What about the people that have not even detected that they are resistant to this? And once they start having that problem that need that treatment, they are in a big mess. So this whole thing, if me and you ask ourselves, do we actually need it? Why do we need our food modified? What is the gaining behind modifying this food? What do we have to lose if we leave our natural modern way of cultivating our crops and eating our healthy food? What do we stand to gain, or what do we stand to lose? Now we all have that decision, and the safety of our food, our family, is in our hands. So when you leave this call today or you stop listening to this message, ask yourself, do I need that food called GMO? What can I do differently to help my family stay safe from food that are not healthy to the food that are healthy? Another thing that we quickly chip in is, whatever you are eating right now, please add spices, herbs to them, because they will help you to enhance the nutrition and get some things from what you are eating. Thank you so much, Grandpa. Thank you so much, Alimat. Thank you so much, Zainab, our beautiful co-host. Thank you, Madam Abimbola. Thank you, Ola Olainka, for joining us. And those people that have joined before, thank you so much in absentia. I saw Joy. I saw a lot of people joined and they left, and I appreciate them for joining us today. And we will be coming to the end of this program for today, while we will continue with another exciting, informative topic next month, same time, last Thursday of the month. Please stay blessed and take a good decision when it comes to your diet, because that is actually what is building you, yourself, your family, and your future. Whatever you feed your body now is like an investment in which you are going to either reap or regret. I pray we don't regret it. Thank you so much for having me, and I will say thank you all for joining us today.